Hello everyone and welcome back to my dirty hair. So today, I did not have the energy to put makeup on my face or fix my hair or any of that, so I'm not gonna make excuses for that. I didn't fucking want to. Okay? So, and if you can't stand to see this, I'll catch you on Instagram at some point looking a little better, but it fucking is what it is. So today, on this ball of fucking happiness that has become my channel, we are going to do another storytime video. I know you guys really enjoyed the last one. I did talk about it briefly in my live stream yesterday that I would be doing a couple more serious topics. My nose is all red because I have allergies, and I feel like I have to say this in every single video now. I have allergies. I sniffle all the time because I live in South Florida and something is blooming all the fucking time. I'm gonna sniffle through the whole thing. I sniffle all the time. This is not the channel for you if that is not some shit that you can deal with. So, moving on. Today I'm gonna be telling you guys the story of a very abusive relationship that I was in and how I got out of it. I felt like this was important. I was talking to you guys in my Discord server about it. We've talked about it a few times before I decided that I would actually film it. And I really think it's important for people to talk about stuff like this because you just never know what somebody else is going through. And somebody could be going through something similar and they just need to hear that you can, my story may be able to help somebody. Sorry, I'm going to put a little, there's some foundation from yesterday. There we go. Look at her nose. It looks normal. Oh my Gwen. Okay. So, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna try to be, I don't know, this is gonna be a complicated one because I don't want to, I'm not gonna tell any names or who anyone is because I'm not trying to get sued. So we're just gonna talk about it objectively. And I'm just gonna do the best that I can. So when I met this person, I was 20. This was pretty soon after my friend Tiffany passed away. I was in a pretty vulnerable state, and this person was very nice to me, very understanding, really seemed really cool, and like wanted to talk to me about, everything, and he was very, very nice, very charming person. And most people who are fucking sociopaths are very charming and very engaging, and like he was a person that you wanted to be friends with him and you wanted to talk to him because everybody loves him, like they still do to this day. It's kind of hard for me to be like not be upset by that because a lot of my friends that were my friends then they still associate with him, and honestly I don't blame them because I understand. Like I was there. I got sucked into it too. Like I believed all his bullshit because he is a compulsive liar. Basically our entire relationship, everything he ever told me about himself or anything about his family was just a blatant fucking lie, or just so exaggerated from the truth that it became a lie. Like if he got hit in the shoulder by a baseball when he was 14, it would be I got hit in the face by a rocket ship and it made me die and come back to life. Like it would just be stuff that was so like blown. He just had this like delusions of grandeur. Everything he ever did, he would tell you that it was so much better than what it was. Or if he had say he had German heritage, he would tell you that he was from Germany and he moved here when he was a certain age. Just like make up these big crazy lies. But I didn't know that it was lies until way later into the relationship. So I was just sad and lonely and pretty enamored by this very impressive person that was very nice and seemed to genuinely care about me. He would, we lived about 2.5 hours away from each other. He lived in a town that I used to live in. And then when I moved back to take care of Tiffany, when I thought she was going to come out of the hospital, that's where I stayed for about a year, with my parents. Sorry. This nose is going to drive me crazy, so I gotta stop looking at it. But he would drive and visit me. He would drive all he worked overnight, so when he would get off work, he would drive from work to visit me. Drive 3 hours in the middle of the night or very early in the morning hours to see me, and it made me feel very, very special. Like, that was something that he was very, very good at, is he would make you feel so special. Like, he would post pictures of me like all over his social media and just be like, look at my beautiful girlfriend. Like, and you know, we're girls, we fucking eat that shit up, because you don't think that somebody who treats you that way in the beginning would ever turn out to be the kind of person that he actually is. But he was just a super good liar. He was very manipulative, and I just didn't know. Like, I had no clue. I thought this was the most amazing person I ever met in my life. Everybody loved him. My friends loved him. Like, everybody thought he was just incredible, that he was just the most amazing person. And we all did. We would go out. He would take everyone. He would drive everybody. He would just be like, no, I don't drink, so, you know, I'll just drive you guys. I turned 21 pretty quickly into our relationship. Now, because of this, now, I'm not saying this is all, like, I'd made some stupid choices in this as well. Like, I made some very, very poor decisions. And one of my poor decisions was because I thought he was so great and just the most amazing person that I had ever met. Our relationship moved very quickly because I felt really safe in the relationship, because, like I said, he talked about me all the time. Everybody loved him. His friends said nothing but wonderful stuff about him, and he was just the most amazing person ever, according to everyone. Like, you didn't hear anything bad about him. One of my friends actually was, when we started like Facebook official dating, sent me a message and was like, this is not a good idea. I know you think he's great, but he's not. Which, when he was like, he did this horrible thing to this girl and this horrible thing to this girl, and he will treat you so bad. I, being the person that I am, I confronted him immediately and was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? Is this true? Like, what? Like, I don't want to pursue anything with you if this is the type of things that you do to people. And he was, like I said, a very convincing liar. And I actually cut off that friend for a while, because he was basically just like, hey, he just basically convinced me that my friend was just madly in love with me, and that is why he would say those things, because he didn't want us to be together because of his own personal agendas. And he had, like, he would back up his shit. He'd be like, here's a text message, him talking about you, and here's this, and here's that, and I'm telling you, he's just like in love with you, and that's why. So, being stupid, believed him, and we continued on. I'd seen my first red flag was that, and I completely ignored it. Later on, I saw like comments on somebody's Facebook that he was like talking to some girl, like, I love you so much, baby, like, you mean so much to me. So I like screenshot it and sent it to him, and I was like, you gonna explain this to me? Like, what is this? Like, it's like, if I'm really a chill person, so like, if that's just like your buddy and that's fine. But he lost his shit, freaked out, and was like, that is one of my best friends. We used to date, but we're still best friends, and if you can't accept that, then fuck you. And I went crazy. And I was like, whoa, bro, like, I'm not trying to fight. I just want to know, what the fuck is this? Like, I feel like I should know that. If you're putting this out there in a public space, then I feel like I should be included. So I felt super guilty and was like, I'm sorry, like, you've never given me any reason to think anything bad about you and to think that you would ever do anything bad to me. Maybe I've just had some bad experiences, and that's on me. And he was like, that's cool, I get it, let's move on. Just so you know, that's my friend. This is how we've always talked to each other. It's nothing further than that. We dated for a while, but it's nothing now. Which was fine. I was still friends with a lot of my exes, so I was like, that's cool. If you told me I couldn't talk to any of my exes, I would have no fucking friends. So, basically, it was that was it though. Like, those were the only things, and then everything else was like blissfully perfect. Like, every night when I would go to sleep, because I worked a normal job. I was at work in the daytime, and he went to work at night, so he slept all day. So every morning when I would wake up, I'd have like a huge, like, 3-paragraph long message about how the most wonderful thing he'd ever seen in his life. And he would text me when I went to sleep, like, every night, because I would just fall asleep texting him or on the phone. And then he'd send me this really long message about how he was so crazy about me and I was just so wonderful. And like I said, he had a really good way of making you feel special. And I had just come out of some really hard times in my life. So when I say I clung on to that, like I like leached onto this man, was like, this is amazing. No one has ever been this nice to me before. Like, that's all it takes. Boop. Like, sold. And it moved incredibly fast. We moved in together after we'd only known each other for like a week when we started like actually like Facebook official, this is my boyfriend. We had known each other for 2 months when I moved there to be with him, because I was like, this is it for me. This is the love of my life. Like, I will die if he leaves me. And he wants me to move there, and I'm gonna fucking move there. And he moved in with me and my friends. I applied for a university in that town, got accepted, moved on my shit. Some of my friends that still live there, we all got this big apartment together, and he moved in with us, and then one of his friends did as well. And we all lived together, and it was really good for a while, and it was cool. We had so much fun, and we did stuff all the time. And then, I don't know, like he would get really mad at me and would just leave. But like leave and disappear. Like no one could find him for hours. And I personally was like, I think it's just because he's so angry because of this fight that he doesn't want to like yell and scream at me, so that's fine. Like, let him go and cool off. Again, nothing that I was super concerned about, because I don't yell at me, because that's one of my things. Don't fucking yell at me. Like, who do you think you are? You don't fucking yell at me. So I was just like, okay. Sometimes I would go try to find him. And then eventually I just stopped. I was like, he's fucking fine. He did not like it when I stopped trying to go find him, though. That was a big, he was like, you didn't even care. Like, you didn't even try to come find me. I was like, well, you weren't gonna tell me where you were. Like, that's kind of pointless. Let's move on. In this time period, I turned 21. I remember him really not wanting to go like party up big, and I was like, I'm kind of tired too. It's fine. He's like, I'll just take you to this bar that I used to go to, you know, in like my hometown, and we'll just go have a drink because you're 21. So I was like, okay. He was older than me. So that's what we did. I had one drink and I got really tired and went home. And that was that. I went home with the sleep, and I think he got up and like went back to like hang out with his friends, which was also fine. I was tired, so I mean that's not on you that I'm tired. Like, you didn't want to go out and have a big party, but I get that you don't want to go home. But he took me home, and I went to sleep. And then, I mean, he was there when I woke up, but I think he did tell me that he got up. Like, after I went to sleep, he went back to the bar. I didn't think anything about that either. Moved on in my life. We got pregnant about, I don't know, immediately. Like, after we got together. We found it out about a week after my 21st birthday, so that ended well that I had one drink and went to sleep because I was fucking pregnant and had no idea. And it was good. I sent him a text because he was at work, and like I said, he worked overnights, and I was in school, so I was in school during the day. And he sent him a text and was like, hey, I need to tell you something when you get home. And he got really upset. I was like, don't you fucking do this to me. Like, if you have something to tell me, you need to tell me now. Like, I'm not going to spend my entire night at work trying to figure out what you need to tell me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm pregnant, and I sent him this, like, really long message about how, like, you don't have to be involved if you don't want to. Like, if you want to leave, then you can go right now. Like, I won't even ask any questions. Like, you will never have to have any responsibility for this. Like, because I want this baby. You don't have to want this baby. Like, you don't have to want anything to do with it. You can. If you just come, pack your shit, I will not ask a single question. I won't even be upset. Like, just... if that's what you want to do, then you need to do it now. Like, if you want to leave, you need to do it today. And get your shit and get out. So I can, be sad and then figure out what the fuck I'm going to do. Because I am 21 years old and I have no clue what I'm fucking doing. So, he never responded to me at all. He didn't get home at the time till 6:30 in the morning. So I'd gone to sleep and I woke up and he was there. So I was like, hey, do you want to fucking talk to me? Like, do you have anything to say? Because I was not being nice. I was very cold. I was like, you didn't respond to me at all. You let me sit here and freak out all night. I am pregnant, and you're not saying anything to me. And he looked me in the face, he goes, you just freak out about everything. It's fine. And got in bed and went to sleep. So I was like, okay. Like, and maybe I was putting a lot of pressure on the situation, but in my brain, I was like, he's either gonna be really excited or he's gonna freak out and pack his shit and leave. And he was very neutral. Just, I don't know why you freak out so much about everything. And like went to sleep. And I was just like, oh. Okay. I need to go to like the doctor. And he's like, okay. Well then go to the doctor. Like what? I don't know what you want me to say. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just got up, went to school, went on about my fucking life, came home that afternoon, and he was there. And I was just like, what you doing? He didn't have to go to work that day. And he was just like, he's like, I'm sorry. Like, I just wanted to tell you, like, I just needed a minute to process because I was at work. So he was like, what he told me was, I was so excited that I forgot to text you back because I had to go tell everyone how excited I was that I was going to have a baby with you and that we're going to be a family, and I was so excited. But when I got home, I was nervous because of the way you sent me that message. It sounded like you were going to make me leave and you weren't going to let me be a part of the baby's life. So I was just kind of trying to gauge your reaction when I got there. And he's like, but I feel really bad, because I understand that you're freaking out, but like there's no reason to freak out. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. Like, I want to get married. And I was just like, oh, okay, great. Because in my brain, he was done with me. Like, he was just like, no ma'am, like that is too much. I've known you for 2 months. So after that, things were really good for about a month. He was seemingly very excited that we were gonna have a baby. Took me to meet all his family. I'd met most of them, but like made this big deal about it. We like had to like dress up and told everybody we were gonna get married. He never asked me to marry him. He just told everyone that we were gonna get married. And I remember one of my like moments where I was like, maybe this is not gonna be okay. He was talking to his brothers and he had me there and he said, we're gonna get married because that's the right thing to do. And I said, huh? Excuse me? No. Like, the world is different. Like, we don't have to. I'm not getting married just because you think it's the right thing to do. Like, the right thing to do would have been, let's not get me pregnant. Like, that would have been the right thing to do. But that's not what happened. So, whatever. Like, the whole, like, pregnancy situation was pretty complicated and involved. I will do, like, a full pregnancy story. But that's not really what this video is going to be focused about. Anyway, I had a baby. If you guys didn't know that I have a kid, like, had a baby. Things were not good by that time. They were not good at all. Between us, everything just got worse and worse. Like, he was excited about this baby for a little while until my body started to change. And then he was not excited at all. He would not go with me to doctor's appointments. He would not take me anywhere. If I ever went anywhere with him, it was like with his family. I would go to see I would go with him to like his mom's house. But if he would tell me he was at work, and he would go do things with his friends. And then I would find out and get upset, and he would just be like, I don't feel like I can tell you anything because you just freak out about everything. You get so mad. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't care. Like, just because I can't go to concerts doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to. It's fine. But I am like supremely pregnant. Like, and I go to school full time. Like, I can't go spend, I can't go away for the weekend to concerts. But don't lie. Like, he would tell me I have to go to work, and then he would call me and be like, I'm too tired, I'm gonna stay at my friend's house. And then the next day he would be like, all right, I'm getting up and going to work. And that's 3 days that I haven't seen you. And I'm just like, well, that's not that weird. We live like an hour and a half away from where you work, so I understand that you'd be tired. Like, that wasn't a super weird thing to me. But then I would find out that he would tell me he was going to work and I'm too tired, I'm going to stay at my friend's house. Oh, I can't talk because I'm at work. And he would like go spend the weekend in another town with like people and go to concerts and stuff. And there would be like ex-girlfriends of his that would go. And I'm just like, and I would get upset. I'm like, I wouldn't care if you would tell me. I wouldn't care. But that was always a fight. It's you just trying to control my life and you're making my life miserable because you're miserable. And I'm just like, I'm just pregnant. Like, I'm not miserable. Like, I was sick a lot when I was pregnant, and that's just a whole nother story. So I just genuinely hoped, I really thought that once we like had this baby that the pressure would be off. We did get married. It was fun. Like, I mean, it was not a big deal. We got married. in a park. And I thought it was fine. Like, he seemed fine. We went on like a mini honeymoon. We spent like one night somewhere different. And we had a good time, and I thought we were fine. And then when I was like, cool, so I'm gonna change my name on Facebook, and then I'm gonna like send you a request, say we're married. And he said, I'm gonna delete my Facebook actually. So he's like, I don't really use it. And I was like, you fucking are always on Facebook. Like, what are you talking about? You don't use it. And he's like, I don't want to have a Facebook. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. And that was the end of it. I was just like, okay, like, didn't question that at all. I was like, cool, fine. He did the whole disappearing act a few times. He would just be gone. Or he just would, like, I would get no explanation. He just would not show up at home for a couple of days. And I would just be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and I would get no explanations. And I was like, I am too pregnant to be chasing your ass around. Like, I just need you to be where you tell me you're going to be. I don't care where it is. Just, I need to know where you're going to I just need to know if you're not coming home. So I'm not keeping myself up waiting for you to come home. Because I tried to be a good wife. And I tried to do, like, nice things, because he would get home in the middle of, like, early in the morning, so I would try to be awake so I could, like, cook food so he wouldn't be, like, starving, you know, because he would just come home, go to bed, and then wake up and then have to go back to work. So I would try to do that to be, like, a good fucking wife. And I needed to know if you're coming home, because I need to know if I need to be up so I could, you know, wash your fucking clothes and make you food when I would really love to be asleep because I'm pregnant and sick as shit. The night that I think my real, like, awakening through this came probably a month or two after we got married. He sent me a text message when he was at work and I was at home, and he was like, I think we made a really big mistake. I don't think that we should be married. Like, I think we should get divorced. And I was like, we've only been married for 2 months. And he's like, well, that's good then we can get an annulment and it'll be really quick. But I don't want to break up. I was 7 months pregnant. I was just like, devastated. It was just like, let's be logical. Okay. But in the state of Mississippi, they will not grant a divorce. They won't let you divorce a pregnant woman. And Google it. It's fucked up. But they will not let you divorce a pregnant lady. So I was like, this is how it is. Like, but I'll go. Like, I'll move out today. And it's whatever. Then I remember I got that friend that told me not to date him. I called him out, went to his work, and I was like, can I come stay with you for a little while? Like, I don't know what to do. And he was just like, just let him fucking go. Just let him go. Like, he is horrible. Like, you're starting to see it. He treats you so bad. And he was like, he cheats on you all the time. And I was like, what the fuck ever? Like, you're just trying to, I'm already upset. He doesn't cheat on me. He's just a dick. Like, that'll just run off because he's immature. That's why I was like, he's just really immature. But once, like, the baby is born and stuff, he'll get better. No, just a spoiler, that no, it doesn't change. This, he called me later on in the night. He was like, please let me come home. I'm so sorry. Like, you know, I got really scared. And if you think it's the right thing, you're always right. So you definitely know. Can I please come back? And I was just like, yeah, I mean, you live here. We're married. You don't have to ask me to come home. Which I should not have done. I should have just let his ass go. But I was like, it's fine. Like, just come back. It's fine. The next day, I packed my shit to leave. And he called me freaking out. We're just like, why are you doing this to me? And I tried so hard. Blah, blah, blah. So I came back. He stayed out. I had to go in at 5 o'clock in the morning the day before I had my daughter to get induced. Because all my stuff was not going well being pregnant. He stayed out till 4 a.m. the night before, came home, drove me to the hospital, laid on the pull-out couch, and went back to sleep. And he was asleep the majority of the time that I was, like, giving birth. So, let's just fast forward a couple of months. One of his friends messaged me and was like, I just really think that you made a really big mistake. We moved away from all my friends and moved to where, like, back to where my parents lived so they could help me with my child. And I got a message and they were just like, just check his phone. I said, why am I, like, that's so stupid. Like, I'm not a snoop. I'm not going to check his phone. And he got in the shower and left his phone in the bedroom charging. So I picked his phone up and was like, okay. So I opened it. He had no messages at all. So I was like, that's not that wasn't weird for him, because he would delete his messages at the end of every day. He said it took up too much space on his phone. And this is back when iPhones were, I mean, they still suck, but iPhones were worse. And I didn't think it was weird. I was just like, that's whatever. So my friend was like, you know, if you go to the search bar and you type in a word, it'll pull up everything, even something that's deleted. You can't click on the message and open it, but you can see like the first like sentence of whatever message, email, or whatever it is in there. So I typed in a couple of words. I typed in my name, and I found so many messages from so many girls about how they were the only person that they ever loved. The baby's not even his. He's staying with me because I threatened to sue him if he left, and I would take all his money in a divorce. And he didn't have no fucking money, number one. But he likes to tell people he had money. But I sat there and just looked through this, people's name, like, that saved as, like, his sister's name. That was clearly not a message to his fucking sister, gross, or whoever. So then at that point I was like, okay. And then I pulled up his Facebook on my laptop. And I figured I changed his password because I knew his email password, because I set up to his email account. I'd help him apply for jobs when we moved. So I went and hacked into his Facebook and went to his archive messages. That's before Facebook would actually let you delete messages fully. If you deleted them, they just saved in another folder. And there was more. Tons of women. Pictures of his like private parts to each other. Talking about how we're actually not together, but he just doesn't want to leave me destitute because he's such a good person. Just, it like, so my brain could not even handle the information that I was seeing in front. And I was like, what the fuck? And the more I looked, I was like, okay, so this night when you told me that you stayed at your friend's house, you were at work, you were out with this girl, or you told your work that I was sick and that you had to come home because I was very sick, and you went out with this girl. Use me as an excuse to take this girl out on a date, and you spent the night with this girl. Like, you drove all the way to go see this girl, and I thought you were at work, but you lost your job and didn't even tell me. You just kept telling me you were going to work, but we didn't have a shared bank account. So I'm just like floored. Should have left him right then. Girl, when I tell you I was there for 2 or 3 more years, I didn't leave. We talked about it. He cried, bought me a new wedding ring, and well, that's the ring that I deserve. And I was distraught. And because I stayed, he felt like he had some sort of power over me. And he did. He did have power over me. And I did a really bad job of regaining my power from him. But this video is going to have to be 2 parts, because we still have about 3 years of abuse to talk about, because this was just my red flags. This is before any of it really started. This is just infidelity. This is the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to stop now. I will be posting a part 2 probably tomorrow, because I don't want to space it out too far. If you can follow me on my social media accounts if you would like. In the meantime, you can follow me on Instagram at grungexglitterx. You can follow me on Snapchat and Twitter at grungexglitter. Or you can follow me on Facebook at grungeandglitter-kp. I will see you guys tomorrow to finish this horrendous story.